Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome back to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And we are here again in this beautiful, stunning community in Kirkland, Washington, MorningStar Senior Living in the Totem Lake area, just really close, like just almost across the street from Fred Meyer in Kirkland, Washington. And it's such a treat for me to be out of my little studio in my house and be in just such an incredibly beautiful community such as this. And to my left, I'm sitting here with this lovely lady by the name of Karin Hirst. And Karin, you are the Director of Hospitality. And so I'm excited to hear a little bit about what you do and what brought you to MorningStar.
Well, I love to tell the story of what brought me to MorningStar because it's kind of unique. I retired after 20 years at the University of Washington. Mm-hmm. I was so bored being retired. And so I was looking for something meaningful where I could give back. And I saw an ad on Craigslist. And I responded to the ad. And when I drove up to this site, I went, oh my gosh, this is Providence, because my daughter had gone to school on this very site for 4 years.
Oh my goodness.
There was a school called Providence Classical Christian School. And so in my mind, when I drove up, it was the providence of God that brought me back to the place called Providence where my daughter had gone to school. So when I look around and I see the trees, I see where the playground was. And so I went from elementary school age child. And then I just thought, this is Providence. God brought me here to senior living. I didn't even know senior living was an industry.
Well, and here you are.
Here I am. And I have never been happier in a job. I feel like my whole life has prepared me for this role.
Well, that speaks a lot to the culture here and really specifically how you end up here, because it's certainly been fun for me to experience working with MorningStar over the past several months. So tell us a little bit about what your job is. When you say Director of Hospitality, I kind of told our listeners right before the break that once somebody moves in or they decide I'm going to move in, they kind of work with you. Isn't that correct? Right. Tell us a little bit about what that means.
Well, my main role is described as being responsible for resident satisfaction. So I'm supposed to know the families and the resident and really seek to know them so that I can serve them best. So as a part of that, I am, after they meet with the Director of Community Relations and they decided to move in, then I'm the moving coordinator. So I reach out to them and I tell them everything they need to know about what the move-in process is going to be. And I support them every step of the way. And then after they moved in, I work with them to make sure they're happy. I try to connect them with other residents, get them involved in the activities, and just be their point of contact for any needs they might have.
Well, and that's so important, obviously, because I know you're making a huge transition. And you're probably maybe moving from a 2,500 square foot house, and now all of a sudden, you don't need all the stuff that you had at your other house. Your lifestyle's changing. So there's going to be a lot of things of, what do I bring? What kind of activities do I need to prepare for? Little things. And you probably have a lot to help them with that, don't you?
I do. Well, I'm a senior too.
As am I. So congratulations.
I can really relate to the downsizing, the kids helping them, just everything that they may need.
Sure.
And the other thing that I've noticed that I really love is some of the residents here might have a spouse in memory care. And so I really want to focus in on residents who have recently lost spouses, residents who have recently had to put their spouses in memory care. And so just being aware of those emotional needs. So it's not just, we're going to move and we have to downsize, but it's also, how are they hurting? And so I really want to be aware of that. So
well, and I think one of the things you hit the nail on the head is too, a lot of seniors, they move here from another city to be close to their children. So all of a sudden, maybe they have a child that works at Microsoft or something like that. And so they move from Idaho or
Florida. We have a couple that moved from Florida.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
They've left their support
And they don't
system.
know anybody.
Right.
So that's really nice to start building a community like this and come into a scenario where all of a sudden somebody's dialed into seeing, who you are and what you like and things like that. So I know you have all these amazing amenities in your community. Just so when somebody comes in and they start asking, how do you, I guess, pull out what's most important to people?
Just by asking questions like, how active are you? What kinds of things do you enjoy? I try to point out what's on the calendar. Our life enrichment coordinator does an excellent job of creating activities. Every month we have a calendar with 7 or 8 activities a day. And so
That's
I might
incredible.
I might just say, here's what's coming up. What might you be interested in? I talked a lady in today that they're going to see a movie tomorrow. Would you like to go? Oh, I didn't know, because she just moved in.
Aww.
So I pointed out the movie, got her involved, reached out to other residents. She's coming, make sure she feels welcome.
So you're just a real social, like the social coordinator. I love that. I love that.
I just don't want anyone to ever move in here and feel lonely.
No.
And I must say that our residents here are amazing at welcoming new guests. In fact, they told us in the very beginning, we have made a vow that whenever someone moves in, we are going to welcome them, and they'll go up to the table and they'll say, hi, I'm so-and-so. We're so glad you're here. And no one has ever felt alone or left out here.
And that's so important. And MorningStar Kirkland, you just opened like recently.
February 14th.
Yeah. Valentine's Day. Yeah. So it is about love.
It's all about love.
It's all about love and about accepting one another and coming together as a, as a community, and really, finding ways in which people can celebrate who they are.
Yes.
And I think that's the key thing. So in this process, obviously your new residents are moving in all the time. What are I guess some tips that you have right now of people when they're downsizing and coming in? What do you think are most important to think about?
Well, that's a tough one. I don't really help them with the downsizing as much as providing resources for them.
Okay.
So we have resources that they can call downsizing experts, moving experts that work specifically with seniors, so that by the time they get here, they are ready to just move in with what they've got. But we do have a lot of resources for them, and they often ask us for those resources.
Yeah. And of course, there's all types of ways, like as far as what I think of is, your life is about to change for the positive in a million ways. And sometimes, at the same time, it's letting go of another chapter of your life. So it's that transition time, I think, to be gentle with yourself and think about ways in which you can carry some things forward. And I know that for my mom, when I moved my mom into senior living, I was so remembering of, how it was for her, but she was able to still have her cat, and she was able to still have, her pets, and we brought, furniture and put photographs up on the wall of family members. And I think we could have done a better job of kind of coordinating family visits so that she had some consistency. I think we all were there a lot in the beginning. And then, everybody did their own thing. Now, if I had it in retrospect, I'd say, let's make sure that we spread it out for the first month, that every week we have somebody coming to kind of help with that transition a little bit. And I think those are some things that we always try to do. So as far as you have a pool and you have different types of amenities, let's review again what all that we have.
What all do we have here? Well, after you walk in the front door, you're going to take a right to the bistro.
Where we are right now.
Right now, we have happy hours in here. We play games in here. We laugh a lot in here. We have the dining room, beautiful dining room. We have a swimming pool. Upstairs, we have an art studio where they do crafts.
Great.
We have a hair salon. We have a beautiful theater where we watch movies, and also church services in there.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And then, as we are sitting in the bistro right now, and behind me, you can see a little sign, and it's ice cream sandwich day. We are in the middle of August, or just beginning of August, I should say, in 2022, when this is being filmed. And obviously, we've been in for the Northwest. We've just been through quite a heat wave. So it's kind of nice to have things like that you can have these resources. And your dining room, amazing. Tell us a little bit about your food.
Well, we have, what's it called?
Made from scratch.
Made from scratch. We have made from scratch menus. The menu is posted every day. They can see it when they walk into the dining room. And then when they sit down in the dining room, they get a menu and they order off a menu just like they would.
And they can
in
go
a restaurant.
anytime they want.
Anytime they want. It's all day dining in the dining
That's
room.
wonderful.
And we have wonderful, friendly, loving servers that treat them like
That's
family,
awesome.
yeah.
So if you sleep in the morning, you can still get breakfast.
you can still get breakfast.
I love that. So how do we reach you, Karin?
Well, our phone number here at MorningStar Kirkland is 425-979-5626. And our website is morningstarseniorliving.com.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And for all of you that are listening, bear in mind, this is a wonderful community that you just have to come and see. I hope that each and every one of you that have even thought just remotely about, what would it be like to come into and not have these headaches? I know that there will be a friendly face there waiting for you, and you can get a taste of a little bit of what it's like. And I bet they'll even treat you to lunch if you come.
We will.
And, it'll be a wonderful, wonderful time. So Karin, thank you so much
Suzanne.
for coming. And coming up next, everyone, we're going to talk to the concierge of MorningStar Senior Living, and that is Lolly, and she's coming up next, right after this. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.